Okay, so welcome to, good morning all. Welcome to this session. In the high frequency response, we told that, or in the three frequency bands, what we have told that. So this is like the frequency response, and it will be having the three bands: mid band, then the low frequency band, and the high frequency band. Okay, so mid band is the constant gain region, so there is no discussion regarding that. So it is denoted as AM, right? So that is the gain of the amplifier. Okay, whereas the high frequency and low frequency, there is a bend curve. This is happens due to some reasons. Okay, and that we have discussed in high frequency. The high frequency curve happens due to the internal capacitances in the MOSFET, majorly the gate to source and gate to drain capacitances. Based on that, we have reduced the circuit, and finally we got the FH derivation, right? So it is 1/2 Cin dash Cin into R signal dash, right, based on the time constant. Similarly, now we are going to discuss low frequency response part. Okay, why this curve happens due to, okay, this is because of the, as I mentioned, coupling capacitors in the your amplifier circuit. Coupling capacitors at the input as well as output, along with the bypass capacitor. Okay, it is there in your common source amplifier circuit. So due to which this will happen, that I am trying to explain today. Okay, so how it is going to have a frequency part in that capacitor, and with that to try to analyze, and we are going to derive today the FL. Okay, so that is the low frequency. Okay, the lower part of the frequency response we are going to find, so that we are going to find the theoretical derivation. Okay, so this is the circuit already. Okay, I have not shown the main circuit. Figure A already is there with you in your notes. Okay, so where it is having the main common source amplifier. So now I have reduced this circuit for my low frequency response. So in low frequency response, your coupling capacitor and bypass capacitors does not become short circuit. Okay, so they are acting as some part of the frequency selective network. So that's why it is considered now. Okay, only thing eliminated is the DC sources. Okay, that is voltage source will be short circuited. Here VDD was there in your main circuit, that is removed. Okay, VDD becomes short circuited, and the current source was there here, right? So there was a current source here, that is removed, open circuit. That's why it is shown like this. Okay, it can be shown here also, but to show you here, the current source is removed. That's why it will come in parallel with that, right? So this is now series with this. Okay, so these are the three capacitances playing the major role in low frequency response. About that we will be discussing. Okay, so for that, how we will proceed is, we will start from the input side only. Okay, so first we'll write the expression for VG, that is the output of the input circuit. Okay, so VG is across the RG. So here, before the transistor input, what will be the voltage? Okay, so that we try to get it from the voltage divide rule, RG by R6. So whatever connected here, even now capacitor is connected now, that also considered in Laplace form. Okay, so what is the Laplace form of capacitor? It is 1 by SCC1. Okay, so that I am not writing, but in the equation I will consider directly. Okay, so earlier it was not there, directly used to write RG by RG plus R signal into V signal. Now along with that, you have to consider this capacitor. Okay, and that's how the equation changes. Then second part, what I will do, I will find this drain current. Okay, so which is passing through this MOSFET. So MOSFET internal, you have 1 by Gm resistance. Gm means transconductance. Reciprocal of transconductance means resistance. So this is the internal resistance of the MOSFET, along with capacitor. Bypass capacitor is there at the source side. So they are in parallel. So based on that, drain current will be calculated. Okay, so then this drain current will come across the output. So this drain current and I0 will have a relation. Based on that, we will find the V0, finally the output voltage. So three set of equation we have, and in the three set of equation, one or the other capacitor will play the role. Okay, so in the first side, 1 by CC1 is there. Next you have the CS. Okay, and then you have the CC2. Okay, so we'll see this one by one. So remember this circuit. Okay, we are going to discuss this. Okay, So just same thing I have explained here. To determine the low frequency gain or transfer function of the common source amplifier, so we show in figure the circuit with the DC sources eliminated here. Okay, the current source I from the main circuit is removed, and that is open circuited, and the voltage source VDD is short circuited. Okay, so we shall perform the small signal analysis directly on this circuit. Okay, we can do that. However, we will ignore R0. R0 is not considered here for the, again, for the simplicity purpose, and again it will not play major role in your low frequency response. Okay, that's why this is done in order to keep the analysis simple and thus focus attention on the significant issues. What is major thing here is to calculate the low frequency, that is FL, we need to calculate. The effect of R0 on the low frequency operation of this amplifier is minor. It is not a major issue, that's why it is neglected. Even you can include and do the analysis, but simply equation will get complicated, so it is difficult. That's why that is only we are telling in the beginning itself. Okay, so these explanations and all, you no need to write it in so much detail. Okay, so I am giving more, so you have to reduce it. Okay, so just for your understanding. Okay, so now we'll start the analysis, the equation part. Okay, as I told you, in 3 parts I will be doing that. The analysis begins at the signal generator. Okay, so by finding the fraction of V signal that appears at the transistor gate. So transistor input is gate, no? Before gate, what voltage comes, that we call it as VG. I have denoted there. So that is given by now V signal into RG. So we are measuring the VG across RG divided by total resistance. What are the total resistance? Previous case you used to have RG plus R signal only. So now what you have, capacitor in its Laplace form, it is 1 by SCC1. Okay, so now this can be taken LCM, and if you write that, so I have not done. Okay, so you are familiar now. So when you write the LCM here in the numerator, you will get RG into SCC1 copy will come in the numerator. Okay, SCC1 will come in numerator, and in denominator you will have 1 plus, okay, and RG plus R signal into SCC1 will come. Okay, RG, I have not written this step so that I can hope you are understanding. Okay, I remember that R signal into this SCC1 taken LCM will come. So this now written in the STC form. Okay, so which can be written in the alternate form. What is that alternate form? In the low frequency response, high frequency response we have done. So any circuit can be reduced into a R into C form, resistor and capacitor form, that we call it as single time constant circuits, and it's a low pass type, high pass and all there. Based on that we can find out the frequency part easily. Okay, so that only we are doing now. The same equation what I have written above, I can write like this. Okay, so VG equal to V signal, VG equal to V signal into RG. Okay, so what I have done is the same thing. What I have done here is both the this thing I have divided by CC1. Okay, so CC1 I have done. So CC1 when you do, so it will come 1 by CC1 RG plus okay, the complete this one I have divided by CC1 into RG plus R signal. Okay, so both numerator and denominator I have divided by that. Okay, that step I have not shown. RG plus R signal into CC1. So then what happens? So here you will get RG by RG plus R signal, here it will come, and then numerator CC1 will cancel out. Okay, S will remain, and here what RG plus R signal, CC1 was there, no, here only S remains. Okay, and the complete all it will come in the denominator. See here, RG plus R signal into CC1. So why done like this? Because this is a form we have seen in high frequency response also. 1 divided by 1 plus S by this one. Okay, that is of low frequency type, STC of low pass type, and now this STC of high pass type. So from this, so this factor we call it as the frequency part. Okay, because here capacitor is involved, so this we denote with a symbol. Okay, So maybe this is the first frequency. I can call it as P1 or L1. Okay, something like that. Okay, low frequency side. So first contributing factor to the low frequency response. So here I have denoted it as WP1. Okay, so this factor. So I hope you got this. How you got this? The same equation, taken LCM here. So you will get RG SCC1 divided by 1 plus, or RG plus R signal into SCC1 plus 1 anyhow. Okay. Then both numerator and denominator I will divide by RG plus R signal into CC1. Okay. Then what happens? So this RG by RG plus R signal I will separate out, and SCC1 was there. CC1 cancel out. S remains there. Then here S remains. RG plus R signal CC1 is there. No, S remains. That I will write first. Plus here 1 was there. No, 1 divided by RG plus R signal into CC1. Okay. So this is how the equation is modified. That is the gate voltage. Okay. Voltage coming at the gate terminal. Make it as equation number 15. So you can write equation 1 also in exam if they ask only low frequency response. But I am doing the continuation of this frequency response discussion. So that's why the equations also continued. Okay. So this is the first equation in this low frequency response. Okay. So from this, so we are finding a factor now. So thus we see that the expression for the signal transmission from signal generator to amplifier input has acquired a frequency dependent factor. And we recognize this factor as the transfer function of an STC network. STC I have explained you previously, single time constant. So it is having only resistor and capacitor combination. Okay, of the high pass type with a break or corner frequency. So corner frequency means we will show that in the response. Okay, so when we are having a okay, so it is a STC network of high pass type and it is having a corner frequency. That means here in high frequency response there was only one thing, CG and CD, they are contributing. But in when it comes to low frequency, it will not happen immediately. First it will happen, so then second step and third step, like this it will happen. So these each thing we call it as corner frequency. Since here we have 3 capacitor, we'll be able to see 3 cutoff frequencies and after that it will go constant. Okay, so like that. So this first break frequency we call it as omega naught, or we can denote it some other name, omega P1 I have shown here below, which is nothing but 1 by CC1 RG plus R signal. Okay, STC network means it will have either R into L combination or R into C combination. So R combination here is RG plus R signal and the capacitor here is CC1 input side. Okay, thus the effect of the coupling capacitor CC1 is to reduce a high pass STC response with a break frequency that we shall denote WP1. Okay, so this is the WP1 we have denoted for the same, and this is this value. Okay, so make it as equation 16. Okay, so odd equation, even equation, you can observe this. Okay, 15 was the odd number, right? 16 is even number now. So is even numbers representing this each of the cutoff frequencies in the case of low frequency. Okay, so now once we got gate voltage, now we'll pass across the gate terminal. Okay, we'll enter into the MOSFET, and MOSFET internal we will get transconductance 1 by GM, and at the source side you have the CS now, coupling bypass capacitor we have. So across that we'll go and we'll measure the drain current. Okay, that is our second step, as I told you. Continuing with the analysis, we next determine the drain current ID by dividing VG by the total impedance in the source circuit. This is Ohm's law, right? Current means voltage by impedance. So same way here, current is ID, voltage is VG, which we have calculated, divided by the impedance. What is the impedance here? So here the transconductance and capacitors are in series, right? So they are in series, it is there. So that's why it is 1 by GM plus 1 by SCS. So this is the Laplace transformed. Okay, CS was the capacitor, in Laplace 1 by SCS, and 1 by GM, you know, it is there in the high frequency model. Okay, so from there it is written, so that we write it in the equation ID equal to VG by 1 by GM plus 1 by S. So this impedance I have written here. Now again same way as I done earlier, so you have to take the LCM here. So what will happen? So this is VG into GM into SCS. So this will come in the numerator. Okay, so the denominator term, it will come in the numerator. So divided by, so what is remaining here? One side it will remain SCS. Okay, so here SCS will be there. Writing difficulty. Just a minute. Here SCS will come first term, and here it will be plus GM. Plus GM. Okay, so this is the equation you'll get. You can write down this. Okay, in the notes when you are writing, you do this. Okay, I have skipped. I don't know how I have not written. Fine. So then next step, what you have to do on numerator and denominator, you have to divide by the CS. Okay, this CS you have to divide numerator and denominator. So what will happen? What is remaining here is GM into VG, and then S is there. S in the denominator also we are dividing now. So separately we are dividing SCS. CS will cancel out here, so it will S will come plus GM by CS. Okay, so this is how the equation I have written. Again, this equation looks like a same like previous, no? STC network of high frequency type. That's why this type of I have written this. So now see the odd equation, 15 after that 17. So now this is showing the next step in your analysis, the drain current. Okay, we observe that CS introduces again a frequency dependent factor, same as previous. Okay, not explaining much now, which is also of the STC high pass type. Okay, so from this you can calculate now the second break frequency or corner frequency, as I told you. Okay, so thus the amplifier requires another break frequency. Now this I will denote it as WP2. Okay, so WP2, which is given by GM by CS, that is the denominator term what you have, that we call it as the denote it as by these symbols. Okay, so now this is your second corner frequency. So now we have to complete this analysis by finally finding the V0. Right, we will go to the drain side now. Gate side over and source side over. Now come to drain side where we measure the output. Right, there also one more capacitor is there. So to complete the analysis, we find V0 by first using the current divider rule to determine the fraction of ID that flows through RL. Okay, so we'll use a current divider rule to find out the how much drain current is flowing through the load resistance RL. So for that, so that current is I0. In the figure it is there I0, which is flowing through the RL. So which is nothing but the opposite branch current. What is that opposite branch current? ID, which is following in opposite direction. That's why minus ID. Okay, which is not flowing in the same direction as I0. So in the circuit you may be seen there, the RL, the I0 out current will flow in this direction, whereas the ID current, which will be flowing downwards towards the source, right, it is going away from that. So that's why it is opposite. That's why minus sign. Okay, into RD. Okay, so what is the resistance you have in opposite branch? RD divided by total. So total things what you have, RD plus along with capacitor is there now. Otherwise RD plus RL used to come, right? 1 by SCC2 plus RL. Okay, so when we write the equivalent circuit, so RD will come in parallel with RL, right? So RD ID current is there, RL I0 current is there. Okay, using current divider rule, I0 I am finding opposite direction because of that minus ID, RD by RD plus RL along with now capacitor is there, that is considered. Again, same as previous equations, you need to write the LCM of this. So what you will get, same as first equation. Okay, ID into this is you will get RD SCC2. This SCC2 will come in the numerator divided by RD plus RL into SCC2 plus 1 will come. So you have to divide now by RD plus RL CC2. Okay, so when you do that, so you will get the equation number 19 now. See here. So no, before that I am finding the I0. Okay, I0 I have calculated, V0 I have to calculate, which is I0 into RL, Ohm's law, current into resistance. So minus ID again substituted, only RD was there. This I have done here together. Okay, so LCM was taken and then RD plus RL CC2. This is the dividing factor here. So in numerator you had RD by RD plus RL along with now RL. This will multiply. Okay, that's why RL is there in the numerator. Okay, into here S will remain. So here also S will remain plus 1 divided by Cc to Rd plus Rl. So this equation same as first equation. 15 equation I have written now. Equation number 15. The same way it is coming. There it was Rg plus R signal was there and Cc1 was there. Now it is Cc2 Rd plus Rl. Okay. So hope you got these three set of equations which will tell you the frequency response. Okay. So from which again we see that the Cc2 coupling capacitor 2 introduces a third frequency dependence factor. It is also STC high pass type. Okay, giving the amplifier a third break frequency at WP3, and we denote this by this factor 1 by Cc2 Rd plus RL. Okay, so equation 15, 17, 19 will tell you the response, and the equation 16, 18 and 20 they will tell you the break frequencies of the low frequency response. So now there are three set of low frequency response are there, which is the major one, and only that we will consider for our FL. Okay, and remaining we'll say it is negligence effect compared to that. Okay, so finally we'll derive that FL. Okay, so these are three set of analysis. We'll combine this. Okay, the overall low frequency transfer function of the amplifier can be found by combining equations 15, 17 and 19. I told you odd numbers, right? These are the responses, and replacing the break frequencies by their symbols in equation 16, 18, 20. So what is that symbols? WP1, WP2, WP3. Okay, so how we are substituting that also I will show you. Just clearly focus on that. Okay, first thing what I will do, I will take the equation number 19. You write it as it is. Okay, so in this equation, this Rd into RL by Rd plus RL, I will substitute it as Rd parallel to RL. You can show it Rd parallel to RL. Two resistance are in this one, right? And then S divided by S plus, this I can denote it by the symbol WP3. Okay, so here I have shown you know this symbol. So this becomes S by S plus WP3. Shortened, this is Rd parallel to RL. Now in the place of Id, what I will do, I will substitute the equation 17. What is equation 17 is there? Just see how I am going back. Okay, see here. This is the what this is. Okay, this is the ID. Okay, so this is the ID which is given as GM into VG. Okay, so again we have the second factor A, S by S plus GM by CS. So this I will replace by a symbol WP2. Okay, S divided by S plus WP2, and GM I will substitute there along with RD parallel to RL. But VG I will not write. Instead of VG, what I will do, I will substitute now equation 15. Okay, see here, all combined together here. Okay, I will show you finally. VG is this value. Signal into RG by RG plus R signal into S divided by S plus. This I will replace by a first corner frequency WP1. So everything I have combined in equation. Next equation. Okay. First I will substitute in equation 19. Their ID value I will substitute from equation 17. In ID we have the VG. So that VG I will substitute from equation 15. So finally what will happen here is, at the left side you will have V naught, and at the right side you will have somewhere V signal. This V signal will come into picture. So next what you have to find in frequency response, V naught by V signal in dB, right? That is the overall voltage gain GV, right? So to get that we have done like this. Okay, so that's what I am combining. Okay, so you need to have the notes, and you have to sit with that. Okay, so work out on this. So this is the equation. See here, V naught ID into, here I have substituted all these corner frequencies I have replaced by WP1, WP2, WP3. Okay, and then here RD parallel to RL I have made, and ID I have substituted previous equation. In ID equation you have the VG. For that VG I have substituted. Okay, and finally it looks like this. Okay, so if I shown directly you will not understood. So now you are able to understand. So V naught equal to, so this RD parallel to RL from first substitution. Okay, RD parallel to RL and then S plus WP3. This is from first equation. There you get ID. So that ID place now it will come. Minus sign is there already, and GM will come. GM into VG was there. Okay, we kept as it is. Remaining what is there? S plus WP2. This we have substituted in second substitution. Third thing, VG will substitute. VG is what is there? V signal into RG by RG plus R signal S plus S divided by S plus omega p. So this complete response is completed. This is called as the frequency response, okay, of the low frequency. Now we'll take this V signal in the denominator, V naught by V signal. Whatever remaining, we'll write it in some format. See here, minus this RG by RG plus R signal I am writing first. Then GM into RD parallel to RL I am writing next. And then all the corner frequencies in form I am writing next. Make it as equation number 21. Okay, so this is the response. Okay, the low frequency magnitude response can be obtained from equation 21 by replacing S by j omega and finding magnitude of V naught by V signal. S, if we replace by j omega, we will get the magnitude response. We are not going to do that, just to tell you. Okay, in many cases, however, one of the three break frequencies can be much higher than the other two, say by a factor greater than 4. That means here we have three frequencies now, WP1, WP2, WP3. All may not be contributing in the same manner, right? So one will be very much larger and one will be very small. Okay, for example, one is having a value 100, another is having 1 or 2 value. Is it going to make any difference adding those to 100 to 101 or 102? No, right? Then what we can do, we can use some approximation. So that is the approximation here. So one will be much higher than the other two. Okay, so in such a case, it is the highest frequency breakpoint that will determine the lower 3 dB frequency. So this curve at the low frequency, it may be bending. Okay, but here which is the major factor at 3 dB, which is going to be the major factor. 3 dB, which frequency is there now, that will be the major factor in deciding the low frequency response, and that happens due to the second break frequency, which is including the GM. Okay, so we do not have to do any additional hand analysis. For instance, because the expression for WP2 includes the GM. GM is a MOSFET transconductance parameter, one of the very important device parameter. So which is usually higher than that's because of it is included in that expression. You have seen that GM by CS will come, right? That is the major factor. And when you calculate that, normally it will be usually higher than other two frequencies. WP1, WP3 belongs to coupling capacitors. So coupling capacitor part, we will be having less frequency compared to this one. Okay, that's why this is the major factor here. So that's why if WP2 is sufficiently separated from these two, so then your frequency response. Okay, so that I am trying to show you. So these are some of the explanation for how we got this. Okay, so based on this, whatever we told, FL can be given approximately by FP2. Okay, so what is FP2? Which is nothing but omega P2. This is the angular frequency divided by 2 pi. You will get the frequency in hertz. Okay, so now substitute the omega P2, which is nothing but GM by CS, right? So 1 by 2 pi is that GM by CS substituted. So this GM, you can take it in the denominator. It looks like this. FL is equal to 1 by 2 pi CS by GM. Okay, so which is the low frequency response. So even in the FH, the derivation also you have seen how it is going to see. Okay, the same way this derivation looks like, which means that in such a case, the bypass capacitor determines the low end of the mid band. Okay, that is the major one. So along with other two also we can show. Okay, so what is that other two frequencies, FP1 and FP2? Again, they will be got from WP1 by 2 phi. So we'll include that 1 by 2 phi. So what was the WP1? It is 1 by CC1 into RG plus R signal. So this is your FP1. Okay, in calculation and all, they will ask you FP1, FP2 and all. Okay, and similarly FP3 is given by WP3 by 2 phi. 1 by 2 phi CC2 RD plus RL. Okay, this is the expression for other two frequencies. In out of these three frequencies, okay, out of these three frequencies, this is the major factor which is deciding the low frequency response. Okay, so that's what the analysis. Okay, so we have set up problems are there, and how to choose this coupling and bypass capacitor in the design also is that, so that we try to see in next class. So this is how the frequency response curve looks like. Okay, again tomorrow I will start the discussion from here only. So now whatever we have discussed, I told you corner frequencies, right? So this was the mid-band gain. Okay, it is given as 20 log AM in dB, which is nothing but V0 by V signal, right? And this is the frequency in hertz logarithmic scale. Okay, so here there are different cutoffs are there. So one cutoff will happen like this. After that it is little bend, and after that it is bend like this. Okay, so this is having the slope minus 20 dB, then it is adding plus again minus 40, minus 60. That means when it is increasing, no, normally how we will apply the amplifier output, start from 0. Okay, so slowly it will increase, and at some frequency when it passes CC1, right, coupling capacitor CC1 belongs to this frequency, right? So when it passes coupling capacitor, you find the VG, so it will take a little increase. Okay, there is an increase in the frequency, so because of that, so it will happen like this. Okay, and that slope is given by this value. And then comes the coupling capacitor here, which is the major coupling capacitor 2, CC2 will come. So that again will contribute to another plus 20 dB per decade. Because of that minus 42, it will come minus 20. Okay, and then here comes the bypass capacitance FP2, which is the major one in deciding the low frequency response at 3 dB. Okay, so this is about the discussion. Okay, so still some small part is there, so that I will discuss in the tomorrow's session.